Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Lorna. It's the most beautiful day in Johannesburg today, and so I thought I'd set myself up on my balcony and share the gorgeous view and the sunshine with you. I haven't caught up in quite some time, so there are a couple of things that I've been doing, and yeah, I'm going to share a few finished projects and a couple of whips with you too. So the first of my finished objects is this little short-sleeved cardigan. It's in a 100% cotton yarn. It's in a bit of a mesh design with a shell edging, and I think it really came out quite beautifully. I think this would be quite nice to wear on a cool summer evening with a strappy top or a vest, just a bit of a cover up for a cool evening, and I really do like it. The next finished object is this granny square blanket that I've made. It's a simple granny square with granny clusters that you just keep on growing until you've reached the desired size. I crocheted until I'd used up all the yarn in the colors that I was using. I've done it in a soft green, a lovely soft gray, silver gray, and a white. Sometimes I only did one row of color, sometimes I went on to 4 rows of color before I changed the yarn, so it's a bit variegated. I ended it off with a linen stitch border, and it's so beautiful how in the craft that we actually do, how just a combination of lovely colors can make something so gorgeous. It's so easy to make. You don't have to concentrate much. This is one of those just sort of mindless crochet type blankets. You can sit and watch TV and keep going. I'll include some photos and you'll see how gorgeous this looks on my sofas and how beautifully it matches my cushions in my TV lounge. I've also completed these 2 shawls, this red one and this one over here. The red one is in a yarn called Summer Breeze. It's very similar to a crochet cotton, but it is an acrylic. It's quite a fine yarn, but I'm really pleased about how this shawl has come out. I had actually finished it, but then I looked at it and I felt like it wasn't big enough, so I bought another ball of yarn and added that, and I'm much happier with the size of it. I think it's just a little bit bigger. I tie it around my neck more as a scarf than wear it as a shawl, but you can use it as a shawl as well. This tutorial I followed in Ophelia Talks, Anya from Ophelia Talks, and her tutorial on a virus shawl was really very, very easy to follow, and I highly recommend that to anyone, even to a beginner who wants to make a virus shawl. It was really a lovely tutorial and one of my most watched tutorials, I think, on YouTube. The other shawl is it's a combination of a virus shawl with the virus cluster, and then it's like a little granny cluster, and it's very pretty, it's very lacy and very effective in numerous projects, in shawls, in blankets. And this is also an absolutely gorgeous shawl. I wear this quite a lot. This shawl, the tutorial was from, I think it was from John and Martinez. I have shown this shawl before when I started on it, so now it's finished, but I will put a link in the description box below again for that. This is really, it was a lovely shawl to make. It's in a cotton yarn, and I think it turned out really beautifully. I used 1 ball of rainbow from Kismet. The next finished project is the mystery cowl from Ophelia Talks. At last, it's done. So as you can see, it looks like a floppy cushion, but it's actually a blanket that folds up into its own pocket. So the tutorial was a mystery cowl. We didn't know what we were making. I did do a video previously on when I didn't know what we were making, and I just showed how I put my colors together, because I didn't use the colors, the Stylecraft Special DK colors that were in the pack that one could buy from Ophelia Talks. I purchased my own yarn. I used a yarn that's available locally. It's L Pure Gold in a double knit. But I'm really so thrilled as to how this blanket and pillow has come out. This is going on my bed as a blanket. I will link the Mystery Cal tutorials in the description box below. What Anya did was she actually made it into a picnic blanket in its own bag. So you'll see that in her videos that she actually adds on a strap here, and it goes around, and then it's obviously like stitched on both sides, so you can hang the bag over your shoulder and go for a picnic. But when I saw that we were making a blanket, and I just love the colors, and I saw the concept of the blanket folded into a pocket, I just thought it was perfect for me to keep on my bed, folded up into a pillow. It looks so much neater than a blanket or on the end of the bed, and I just love the concept. I think it's really gorgeous. So this has come out so beautifully, and I'm thrilled with it. I really enjoyed making this. I have a couple of works in progress on the go at the moment. I'm making two Mobius shawls. This one is, I've only just started, and this one's almost done. I'm making these in another yarn from Kismet. It's a cotton acrylic blend called 50/50, and it's a yarn that I haven't used until this year, and I'm really starting to enjoy working with this yarn. I can see it's going to become one of my favorites. So you can see this is in a beautiful dusty pink, and this one's in a sort of soft violet. Absolutely gorgeous colors. I'm actually preparing a tutorial on this Mobius shawl because I've made a few and I've given them as gifts, and they seem to be going down quite well, and it is my own pattern, so I've decided to put that out as a tutorial because everyone seems to really love them. Then the last work in progress is this shawl from Ophelia Talks. I think it's called Summer Breeze. I'll also put the link in the description box below. It's a rectangular shawl, and it's an absolutely beautiful pattern. I think it looks lovely. It's made up of clusters and DCs. And I'm making this shawl in a local South African yarn called Moya, and I think it's quite apt that I'm using the color Ophelia for this shawl since it's from Ophelia Talks. So I've used 3 balls of yarn so far, and I've run out of yarn, and I have some yarn on order, so I'm hoping to get that next week so that I can complete this and show you the finished object next time. My tip for today is to keep a marking pen, or at least a pen, but I prefer to use a marking pen because I can see it a lot more easily. And what I do with the marking pen is I number the ball bands of the yarn that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So when I've come to the end of the project, I can see how many balls of yarn I've used for that project, and then I normally write that down in my project book. So when I want to make that particular project again, I've got a reference. I also write down the size of the hook that I've used on the ball band so that there can be no confusion afterwards, because very often we don't use the size hook that the yarn recommends, or for this particular yarn in the knitting needles, it recommends 3.25 to 4 millimeters. So next month I'm definitely not going to remember whether I used a 3.25 or a 4 millimeter. So if I've written it on my ball band, then I'm definitely not going to forget. So you can see here I actually used a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook for the project here. The other thing that I do with the marking pen is when you are following a pattern with some prescribed colors. Sometimes the pattern writer refers to colors A, B, and C, and in particular with Anya's project, her mystery cal, she referred to the colors of the Stylecraft Special DK. Now, I didn't use Stylecraft Special DK. I tried to match my colors as best I could from L Pure Gold. So what I did was I actually wrote the color that represented the color that I was using. So for instance, this was Aloe from L Pure Gold, but it represented the meadow in Anya's mystery cal. So I wrote meadow on each of the ball bands for that yarn, and I also numbered them 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So I wouldn't get confused, and I'd also know how much of the yarn I'd used at the end of the project. So there you go, that's my little tip for the day. Thanks so much for watching. I've certainly enjoyed sitting here on my balcony in the beautiful winter sunshine this morning. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Please like, please share with your friends, and do subscribe if you want to see some videos in the future. And there comes the wind. Look after yourselves, take care, and bye for now.